Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to New Beginnings. So, there's a little bit of stuff going on out there. I've been playing with stuff. We need a communications tower, antenna, flash, whatever. So, we'll be doing that shortly. We are going to be doing the captain's office or the leader of the colony's office today through there. And we are going to be doing the leader's bedroom suite because we did the bathroom, we just haven't done the suite yet. And then I just thought I'd show you what I've done. We now have a fully functional classroom. As you can see, each student has their own electronic device to work on. We had the projector up, but now it is projecting an image of presumably the planet we're on. X marks the spot. I don't know. And then next door, each individual cubicle has been set up for training purposes. Everything has got, well, they've got everything they need for their classes. For example, here we are looking at planets. Here we're looking at string theory. Thought that was quite fun. And yes, that's supposed to be a PNG file, but I just put it on a white background. And what else have we got here? We've got animal research. How's that? Plant research and star charts. Everyone has an opportunity to do study in their preferred field. Then outside, the hydroponics is looking pretty darn good. The only thing I haven't done is attach the fruit. So this is all set up now. The trees are a little bit more grown. They've expanded a smidgen. I don't know what fruit this is, but it's flowering right now because I was like, the flowers are an indication that it will fruit. So let's do that. It's spring in the Northern Hemisphere, so let's make this a Northern Hemisphere tree. And then I only have to put fruit on 2 of the trees. We've got a selection here. And then we have the banana palms over here. And as you can see, the bananas are waiting. I've got to make a hand or 2 of bananas. I thought I'd leave these crates on the wall so they can be collection devices. I might zhuzh them up with take them away slightly and then almost put like a chute system behind them with a door so that whatever's collected can then be transported directly instead of hand carried. And then, ta-da! We have our hydroponics, and as you can see, the hydroponics is looking pretty good. It's packed with plants now. These ones at the back also have grown a smidgen. And I just packed it with whatever would literally fit and not look like a phone. So there's a hydroponic setup, which I think is looking pretty dang good. So first order of business today is the leader's quarters. After that will be the leader's office. And then we're going to go and make some stuff in the kitchen. I'm going to try and make a very advanced vending machine system. Keep your fingers crossed. Let's go in. Now, here, we're going to have to figure out what to do. So, the bedroom, let's look at it first. This is the sort of commander on rotations bedroom, so we'll probably need a working desk there, possibly somewhere to sit, bed, and wardrobe space. I don't know how long the rotation is, so we're going to have something comfortable to sleep in, but then also something that uses space in a good way. So I'm thinking either that or that. I like that. Just simple but solid. And then we can maybe go for the navies. never used that, and that's quite cool for someone who actually is living in an advanced society to actually be using an image of something that comes from a really old culture. Let's see what that looks like. It's pretty darn good. Nice and crisp, nice crisp sheets. The color goes with the floor. Lines up nice and tight against the wall. Let's see, if I look at that, what do we have here? These wardrobes are too big. I wonder how big that is. It will also be too big. It's tiny. Not really a good utilization of space. Let's try and see what happens. We could probably put a shelf over it. I want cupboards on each side. Maybe, well, that will fit. If I take that and put it onto there, that actually looks pretty good. And these tables are quite low, so maybe we can do something like this. It looks weird. These are going to have to go. What happens if we take one of these, shrink it down? Doesn't. That'll work. Sure, let's do that. And if we wanted to, we could take that. Whee! That should be enough for books and stuff. It sort of gives highlights that sort of lines that the bed's creating. So you've got a lot of sorry, I just saw the knobs on the door. And I was like, better. I wouldn't mind putting a fake door on this lower cupboard. Would we try that? That's going to be a pain to use because it's big and you're going to make it smaller. So let's use this, which is small, and you can make it bigger. That works. Okay, and then we can put all kinds of goodies on top there. Yeah, something like that would work. I'm not going to put lights in yet. We'll get to the lights. Now I can do one of two things. I can put a screen on the bottom of the bed here that like lifts up and down. Do I want to lift something up and down? That is the question. We can put a screen on the wall here, which will be part of the contact system type thing. Actually, we're looking for one of these, aren't we? Should we go for a big one? It is the bedroom. That should be okay. And then we need a desk. I'm going to go for something super, super duper simple. Let's go for that. And just not centering, is it? That's fine. Maybe something little like that over here. Should I move this door over a bit? Yeah, it'll work. Ooh. Oops. That's quite funny, actually. Now, if I do that, yes. You know what? Is that for my flashlight? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's a comfy bedroom. It's livable. Let's put a table here next to the bed. I mean, next to the chair. What am I doing? Yeah, that'll work. I'll put in all the odds and sods and the personal items at a later stage, as well as all the lights. Now, I was thinking if I put the door here, it's pretty much opposite the front door. And then we can put a desk and like a little conference table for anybody who wanted to come and talk to whoever's currently in charge. That's more blue, that's more green. I'll take that. But it'll work. It will have to work. It's going to work. All right, and then we can have a communication here, whatever we're going to do with it. Maybe another one of these things. Doesn't quite fit, does it? That's unfortunate. I put 2 in. Let's see what we can find here. We've got... It's also slightly too small. You know what? I'm just going to put a board behind it. And that will work fine. Okay, communications desk of some description. We just need some headphones. And we're probably going to need one of these. Just in the event of emergencies. And then I would like... It's not going to be the right color, is it? Damn it. Fine. It's just PG. There we go. So we have the whole setup there by the desk. But I think behind here we can have at least 2 to say a small round table. How big is that? Yeah, that should work. Probably won't have more than 4 people sitting here. And if needs be, we can always call more people in. Pull more chairs in. There we go. Do we want this size? Yes. These screens probably can be pulled around, so it's easy. That makes sense in my head. My head is a little out there, so maybe not. So will these fit under here? Almost, but not quite. Because it's not a desk. There we go. Give him a bit more space. I suppose he would need a keyboard, wouldn't he? Let me just grab another one of these and drag it through. All right, there's your basic desk setup with your command center and the whole kitootie. Okay, so I've made a few changes. I've lightened this chair up a smidgen and the sofa, but I think that looks pretty good. And I will probably be putting plants in each room because plants are a good source of oxygen. And there are certain plants that provide a good quantity of oxygen. So I'm not going to make this too individualized simply because at the end of the day, there'll be people coming. It won't be just one person that will be living in these quarters. But I will semi-individualize it for the person who is here right now. So, next. Okay, this was one of the most frustrating builds because, I don't know, I just kept on being unhappy with everything. So, Yay. And it hasn't worked out too badly. I've added a few things. As you can see, there's an old chart up there that I thought was quite cool as an artifact. We do have the mixing board again. We've got a whole lot of stuff sitting here. We've got 2 screens here, and we again have one embedded in the desk, which is quite cool. We have clocks in many places, including the training rooms. And then I don't think I did everything on camera, but I've sort of thrown a few things. These dials are from the sauna, but I thought they looked fairly efficient there as well. So there's that. And then the next place we are going to go to is the kitchen and our new vending machine system. Nothing has changed in these places, but I think they're looking pretty dang good. And this is where our vending machine is going to be. And there's a few different things that I was thinking of incorporating that makes sense. I'm not sure if I want to use that. I think I want to use that instead because it gives a much bigger appeal. So let's go with, you know what, it's food. Food should be happy, shouldn't it? I don't want to go yellow though. I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of stuff down here. It sort of works in the kitchen. Might need to be slightly more vivid. Let's change that up. That actually looks quite cool. Alright, so that is for drinks that can be poured. I was going to use this microwave oven. Let's see. I wanted something very square. Actually, that one. Let's do that. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it'll be fine. So we've got that, and that's huge. Okay, and then the one thing I haven't got around to, which I will be getting around to, is, sorry, got sidetracked by stuff. The one thing that I haven't got around to is getting labels done for this. That will be shortly. Now, this is tiny, but soap comes out of it. So if soap can come out of it, ooh, and it stands. Look at that. We can maybe use that as a dispensing device as well for liquids. All right, I didn't think of that when I was doing the water cooler. And I don't want to do a water cooler as much as a large container containing water. That makes sense. I hope so. Now we're just going to look at random stuff until something jumps out at me. Just bear with me. You might not see all of it, but you will see some of it. I'm wanting something with really wide drawers. So that's exactly the same width as that. Now bear with me. What I was thinking, I want to see if this is going to work. If I take the groceries and I, for example, take a pizza, how many pizzas can we get in here? There we go. So if you think about it, these drawers would store everything. It would be taken up, heated through that, and then delivered for a whole special system, which we'll figure out at some stage. If I put that in there, that's going to literally take up the whole top. So we need to move this off the wall slightly so that we can actually have a bit more space. That would work. It keeps it away from the wall and gives you more counter space. Ah. All right, so what have we got in the top drawer? We've got pizzas. We have cranberry sauce I don't think would be a actual item. Let's just see if we can squeeze 2 of these in here. Yes, we can. Don't know about the poppy. Let's go for the borscht, because the poppy seed cake will be dessert or snack. Come on, damn you. I want to be able to open and close the drawers with this, so I can't force it. I've got to try and be nice to it. Clearly that's not going to work. Now, if only I had glass, eh? Maybe I should use glass front, or just a picture of everything on here. About snacks, we can do pennies. Little sandwiches. Ooh, would I fill this whole drawer with tortillas? Yeah, why not? Burgers, pizza, ooh, hot dogs. Should we do ham? I wonder if the chips will sit next to it. It's a very good question. Should we try that? Yes, they do. It's just sad that it's actually hidden in the drawers, but I mean, we've got so much more to do. Sandwiches. We make it a full sandwich if we can. Use me as I'm making that. Will you? Will you? Yes, you will. Oh, look at you. Everything's behaving today. It's amazing. Next, poppy seed cakes. We're probably only going to get 2, but I mean, you're not going to eat a whole plate, are you? Are you? And then should we put a slice of pie or a whole pie? Let's do pie slice, and let's do whole pies, because if I'm lucky I can fit 3 maybe. We forgot the donuts, didn't we? Okay, that's going to have to be a whole new cupboard. We can't fit the Scooby-Doo sandwich in. I'm terribly sorry, but it is what it is. Well, the sweet treats can probably go into, let's do croissants in here. Let's see, can we? Yes, we can. Because these can have a savory filling. And then the next one, I'm gonna have to write this all down or take screenshots. Donuts, where the donuts? Where the donuts? Here we go. How many donuts can we fit in a drawer? We've got 2 different kinds of donuts. Cupcakes, I forgot about the cupcakes. Okay, so that is the concept I have to start with. Then we're going to have a whole stack of these. What's nice is they have all the buttons that we need on them. There's that. Let us find, first of all, this. One day they're going to put fabric on this. Okay, so that's sort of the delivery slot. Does that make sense? And then all of these can go up there. Actually, that looks pretty good, because then those are the closed slots. I wouldn't mind replacing this whole thing with glass. But it's a start. There we go. So you've got your slot that opens. You select your food. It warms up and then it is delivered to you. Does that make sense? Maybe. Then we need a water dispenser of some description. See what I mean? Got a little nozzle there, but it'll be fine. Then I must just get the water logo, and we can pretend that's a water cooler. What do you say? That is the thought process I have. All right. So water cooler in inverted commas, a sort of vending system that doesn't involve like chips and long-lasting stuff. That if you're just hungry and you want to come and grab a meal, you can do that. I need to make a note of what's there, and then we can put a menu type thing on the top there. Let me know what you think. And then next time we are going to be doing the dining room and the living room. And I think in here is where we will put the vending machine. Then the other dormitories. Now I'm not going to use these beds. These are just placeholders to see how big the dormitory would be. All right. Next and last. I was gonna do it today, but I don't think I've got time to do it today. I wanted to do this. There's our communications. But the only problem, we only have plastic, I think, wood, stone. We would probably need metal, but that'll work. Because we're on a deserted island in the middle of a wide galaxy, I was thinking we can start, and we are not limited here. For example, I don't think this will sit on top here, but it might. No, it won't. Of course it won't. We would need some form of interstellar communications. Considering it is May, I thought that was a good idea. As a start. How high should we go? Okay. How high do we want to go, guys? We got a skinny one still down here. Oh, it's a good start. See, I want to put an arm on it and actually use that as a satellite dish. Maybe. But I think what I really want to do right now, just for the fun of it, that's because I can. No, not that. That one. Let's see if we can put this at the top. It look weird. Maybe that needs to be further down as opposed to right on the top. How's that? It looks less crazy. Yeah. So that's the start of our communications. I've got to still get pointy stuff and other stuff and stuff. And then I've got to put some more solar up and then do the rest of it and possibly carry on with construction. So you can see our hydroponics or our gardening section is looking good. It's working hard. And we finally will have communication with the outside world soon. So guys, I'm going to now leave this here. I think that's not a bad. Let's just land on the ground. There we go. I don't think it's the bad start to communications tower. As I say, I got a lot of this sort of stuff, but a lot of it is like Star Wars. It is my not the fourth anymore. So I thought let me put some stuff together and see how it goes. I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.